Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is the second lecture. In the previous one, we discussed the resources, their classification, and all other relevant concepts. In the second lecture, we will be discussing the classification of resources. This is the last classification of resources. So this classification is going to be on the states of development. On keeping the states of development in view, resources are further classified into four groups. One is potential resources, developed resources, stock, and reserve. We'll be discussing them one by one. So we'll take the first, that is the potential resources. Potential resources, as the name indicates, they have the potential to satisfy our needs, but currently they are not being used. Why? Because there could be the technological barrier. Although they have the potential to satisfy our needs, but they are in the present time they are not being used. Now, in contrast to the potential, we have another one that we call developed resources. Developed resources are those resources. Yes, dears, developed resources are those resources. Here we have done the qualitative and quantitative estimation. We have done the qualitative and quantitative estimation. That means we are sure of the quality and quantity. And in the present time, we are operating the resources because we are blessed with the technology, and we are working on them, and we are taking out the resources from the surface of from within the earth. Yes. After that, we have stock and reserve. Now, keeping stock in view, these resources also have the potential to satisfy our needs. But again, they are not being used. For example, we have water, H2O. It's composed of two gases. One is hydrogen, another is oxygen. We do not have technology. We entirely are not blessed with such technology which can take out hydrogen and oxygen out of water, so that this can be used as the best fuel. Therefore, this comes under stock. Might be in future we can have such type of technology which can bifurcate the water in order to get hydrogen or oxygen to satisfy our needs. Therefore, such type of resources come under the stock. Now, you might be facing some sort of confusion regarding the in between the stock and potential. In the potential, I do also say they have the potential to satisfy our needs, but they are not being used. But see here, the difference only is this. Here, potential resources, you can only understand this by taking an example. That is, if we talk about solar energy. Solar energy is being used. It is satisfying our needs, but not on large scale. For example, if we talk about the Rajasthan, we have a higher amount of insolation there, and therefore we can run different large number of solar panels. But we are not doing that much entirely. Therefore, this in the potential resources quantity, these resources are being utilized, but their concentration of utilization is very less. But here, in stock, entirely the resources are not being used. The barrier is only of technology, right? So moving onwards, we'll discuss the reserve. Now, reserve. These are also the resources, but deliberately we are not using them because they are meant only for future generations. Right? Comparing all the four types of resources like potential, developed, stock, and reserve, I will make a flow chart which surely will help you. We will classify them again on the basis of, to make it more clear, actually, on the basis of willingness, or we keeping will to operate all those resources. We will classify on the basis of technology. We will classify on the basis of presently, are we taking benefit or not? So see here. So this is the table which makes you clear what is the difference between the potential resources, developed resources, stock, and reserve. As in the before few minutes I was saying the potential resources are the resources which have the potential to satisfy the needs but not being used. See here, on the basis of technology, on the basis of willingness, and are we able to utilize them or not. See, if we talk about potential resources, yes, we do have the technology, we are willing to operate, but we are not able to utilize them entirely, because as I said in the keeping the example in the previous section, I said why. So in the developed resources, we have the technology, we are willing to operate, we are utilizing them, like this coal and petrol. This is being currently we are operating them and we are satisfying our needs. Moving onwards, this is stock and reserve. Now see the difference. Technology we do not have. Willingness, yes, of course we are willing to operate, but are we able to utilize? No. As I said, we cannot take out hydrogen from the water in order to use it as a fuel, right? So therefore we do not have technology. Keeping that in view, we are not able to use such type of resources. Moving onwards, technology in terms of reserve. Yes, we have technology. Are we willing? No. Why we are not willing? Because this is entirely meant for future generations. Future generations. As an example, I write here water in dams, right? So with this we end the classification of resources. In the next immediate video, in the next immediate class, we'll definitely discuss the resource development. Thank you.